All right, everybody, today we are going to be talking about some news that came out about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago on Pokemon YouTube channel, where they brought forward a new design for Scarlet and Violet. Well, kind of new. So is Pokemon taking a step back, and is this going to affect the Pokemon market when it comes down to Scarlet and Violet's performance? So if you're new here, guys, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and as always, hit that like button. We can get 100 likes in this video, guys. I know you guys can do it, and it's greatly appreciated, and it helps us out a ton to do that on the algorithm. So please hit that like button before you leave to help out the channel. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe. We do talk a lot about Pokemon market, Pokemon investing, and also new products and what's happening in general in the Pokemon TCG. So be sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave and hang on through the video, because we are going to have a good discussion here. Now, before we go into the discussion though, we are going to be doing a giveaway as we get closer to 2,500 subscribers. Of course, I'm really excited to be getting to that milestone. It's been a fun road, guys, and I'm greatly appreciated you guys have been here with me. It's awesome to see this. And as a thank you, I'm going to put this item next to me up first for the giveaway, which is going to be the Charizard UPC. That's right. I got one of these out for you guys. And for appreciation for you being in the channel, of course, you'll all get an opportunity to win this. I am also going to be putting my first poll out today at 8 p.m. Central Time to find out, what do you guys want more? I definitely have a little bit of a budget put away, about $350, $400, and I'm going to be definitely using that towards these products for you guys. And I want to know what you want before we really move forward on it, so that I can get the right items to make you guys happy, because this is all about you and what you want. So today we're going to go jump into the topic, which is, why is Pokemon going backwards? We've never seen this precedent before in the Pokemon TCG and Pokemon marketing. They've never gone backwards in time like they are right now, and that's because they've introduced two cards on the Pokemon YouTube channel about 7 weeks ago, 6-7 weeks ago, of the new Scarlet and Violet characters on an EX platform card. Now, are they for sure going to go with EX? I don't know. I don't know if this was just a marketing ploy. They used the EX style card for it. I couldn't find any confirmed announcement that these were actually set cards or anything like that, or if they were just promo trying to show off the new Scarlet and Violet characters in different realms. We will see. My assumption is right now is that because they did it, I'm guessing we are going to be seeing EX cards. Pokemon is continually evolving into the next set. It's growing, it's becoming stronger, the characters are becoming more rigid and vivid and more, they just got more powers and things like that as we move forward. Whether it's in GX or the V-Star moves, we can all the way through time go to base set in the first gen of Pokemon. We can go through the Holos. You go into Neo, second gen. We go into, of course, Shining Pokemon in that generation. Then we can kick all the way up into EX era, where we saw our first Gold Stars come out, followed by Diamond and Pearl going into level X's. Then we have Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Not a lot of difference between the two cards, so they do stay kind of similar, but the biggest difference in them is that we see our first full arts at the beginning in black and white base set with Reshiram and Zegrom on those cards, compared to, of course, the Heart Gold Soul Silver style, which has no real leveling or anything on it, but the name of the character and the way it's designed. Then we can move into, of course, XY, which is our first example of EX cards showing up, followed by Sun and Moon and GX going into V-Star and VMAX and V cards in Sword and Shield era. So it's always a constant building, changing, moving forward, becoming bigger and better as they move forward with the Gigamax or Gigantamax inside of the Sword and Shield era. And it's definitely, when I first saw it, I was kind of excited because I did like a lot of the EX cards, and I never really got a good opportunity coming back when I did to get those cards, and I never really got the opportunity to go back just because of time-wise. And it's been crazy just going forward, let alone trying to spend a lot of time in that XY era of cards. But now we're seeing this potential EX in the next Scarlet and Violet era. What does that mean overall? Is it a good thing for the market? At first I was excited. The more and more I think about it though, it brings up more questions than answers when it comes down to Pokemon. Is there a ploy because of the fact that we're probably going to see the 30th anniversary inside of Scarlet and Violet? Is that potentially the reason that they're bringing these EX cards back? Are they just out of ideas? They didn't want to take time to come up with a new idea and actually build on something and make it move forward. And that's another question that I have. The other question I have is, what's this going to do to the market? What's this going to do to EX cards that are in the past? Is it going to enrich them and make them more valuable and might make people go back to them? Because now when they go into Google or when they go into TCG Player and they put, a Pikachu EX, is that going to go all the way back to the XY cards and people will see the old cards and the new cards? But once again, Pokemon really doesn't care about what happens to their cards after once the gameplay is done with them and the meta's finished. They typically just kind of forget about them. So is Pokemon starting to think of enriching itself with collectors and investors by putting this EX so that people may stumble into the past and look at these older cards? There's a lot of things that I don't understand, and it doesn't make sense when it comes down to the Pokemon market why that would happen. And what does that mean for your investments? Of course, we can look at your Pokemon investments. What's going to happen in that situation? Are we going to see your investments increase in the EX era? Is this a time maybe to be buying EX cards? If you know for sure Scarlet and Violet is doing EX, and you know some of the big characters in the Pokemon TCG, Charizard, Pikachu, Blastoise, Venusaur, we can go through all the evolutions and everything that were back in the EX era. Is this a good time to go back and start looking at purchasing some of those cards now as singles before that market really starts to shoot up? Because people are going to start searching these cards as we get further and further into Scarlet and Violet. And of course, the XY versions are going to pop up on TCG Player when you put in a Blastoise EX or a Charizard EX, or you can go through any of them, any of the evolutions, Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon. We can go all the way through everyone that was there in the EX era. If you type it in, you're going to get doubles. You're going to double down or even triple down depending on how many of those cards were out there, even in the XY era. So once again, interesting dynamic, an interesting change. It's a different approach from the Pokemon TCG that really doesn't make sense. And like I said, at first I was really excited. And that's why I kind of wanted to wait on this video. Sometimes your initial excitement doesn't really register. You need to take time to kind of process it and kind of put it in the back of your head, come back to it, and you see it again and kind of sort it out, really come up with a good scenario in your head for why it may be a good thing or why it may be a bad thing. And that's the biggest problem that I have right now is the first part of it was excitement. I think it was really cool to see the EX cards, the EX style artwork and stuff on these actual Scarlet and Violet cards. The second question I have is this truly where Pokemon's going? Or are they just using this as a promo to promote Scarlet and Violet in the different eras of Pokemon, and this is just kind of the glimpse of the artwork and it's going to change and the EX will be dropped and changed to something else? Or is this seriously where the direction they're going and it's going to be the first unprecedented time that Pokemon is going backwards in time and changing the format to a previous version? Is Ash going back to that region of the Pokemon? Are we going to see him fall all the way back to, what is that, Gen 6? And go back to that region of Pokemon? I mean, I don't know if we're going to be seeing that either. So it's an interesting development as we move forward, and it'll be kind of cool to see if this is what we actually find inside of the first booster box of Scarlet and Violet. And if you guys know below, let me know. Do you guys think that this is a good change? Do you like the idea of the EX cards returning, or do you kind of want them to stay back in the past and Pokemon should come up with a new style card, a new format, a new power move, a new setup completely when it comes down to it? Like I said, I'm hit or miss. It really doesn't make a big difference to me. I think it's cool seeing the EX artwork, but on the other hand, I do like Pokemon evolving, becoming better, changing, and going forward, and not so much pulling back, because you're going to have really overpowered EX cards, which is going to look really weird in the format of the Pokemon TCG. So once again, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about it? Do you think that there's a good opportunity here with the EX market? Do you think that this is a good change, a good evolution in the Pokemon TCG to move into the EX era rather than coming up with something new like they would typically do from era to era? And let me know in the comments below. Do you like this kind of discussion? I mean, this is kind of a fun little discussion to have, to put another thing and put thoughts in your head, how Pokemon investing may be affected by the fact that, hey, you're putting EX on something, and when someone searches it in TCG Player, there's going to be multiples of it, and some are going to be the old, some are going to be the new. Some people might see that and go and purchase the old because, hey, I'd never seen this card before. There are a lot of people I talk to that have never left Sword and Shield. They came in Sword and Shield, they've lived in Sword and Shield, They've never looked outside of Sword and Shield. If you do, then they move into Scarlet and Violet because they're just naturally staying in the hobby. That's a way for them to see those EX cards of the past. Maybe it's a great time for your Pokemon investment to start purchasing some singles. I'm not going to say to go do it. I'm definitely watching where this is going to be sure that Pokemon is going with this EX. If it is, I might be looking at some of those, and it may be something that other people may want to start looking at for your portfolios and for your Pokemon investments, is to jump on some of those high-end, fan favorite Pokemon and get EX cards now before other fans of the Sword and Shield era move into Scarlet and Violet and start purchasing backwards, because they start accidentally popping up on their searches when they're trying to find cards in the Pokemon TCG for their binders. So once again, guys, as always, please hit that subscribe button if you made it this far into the video. Also, hit that like button and be sure you leave a comment on what you think about going back on the EX era, or if it's a mistake. Other than that, if you do like this kind of content, as always, I will put up these 2 videos up here for you for your enjoyment afterwards. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.